Cancer, you are up for the December Tarot Energy Reading. Before I go any further, KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. Please feel free to listen to this podcast on whatever platform is most convenient for you. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. Now that I said all that, this is a general reading. The love readings and the money readings should be up around Thanksgiving weekend. So I will hopefully start working on those then. I will do some collective readings, new moon in Sagittarius and full moon in Gemini. I will do those readings. Whatever readings you watch or listen to, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it's not your story, don't try to make it fit. I'm just a person sitting here reading energy and the tarot cards. You know your story better than I ever could. All right, also something else too. When I was doing the introduction, June came to mind. So for this particular reading, there might be something of significance that happened in June or will happen in June of 2023 that is connected to this reading. So you may want to take notes on that. Just throwing it out there. Again, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. May I have the energy for Cancer for December? May I have the energy of Cancer for December? May I have the energy of Cancer for December? What is it that Cancer needs to hear? What is it that Cancer needs to hear? What is it that Cancer needs to hear? May I have a card, please? Whoa, 2 cards came out. Okay, we'll take them. Wow. I don't think I've ever seen this one before. Again, and this is my Saints and Mystics deck, just so you know. So, first card that came out is Saint Paul, Sacred Visions. Saint Paul, Sacred Visions. So some of you may be having visions. And then, don't freak out with the second card. It's not as deep as you think it is. The second card is Santa Muerte, which is Holy Death. Santa Muerte. All right. So let's start with St. Paul, which is Sacred Visions. And see here. And I may skip around on some of this. And I guess I need to hold this up while I read it. All right, so St. Paul. Before he was St. Paul, he was known as Saul of Tarsus, a Roman citizen and Jew during the 4th and 5th century after Jesus' crucifixion. He led his life criticizing Christian beliefs, thinking them foolish and naive, and persecuting followers as often as possible. One day, while walking along the road from Jerusalem, Saul experienced a blinding vision of a man before him who he instinctively knew as the resurrected Jesus, who asked, "Saul, why do you persecute me?" As the vision ended, Saul fell to the ground, his eyes plunged into darkness, his sight gone. And I'm going to skip the rest of this. I'll give you the Cliff Notes version. After that happened, Saul wondered. Eventually he met someone who also received the vision that he was going to have to heal Saul. And that is what happened. Saul received his sight back, then later on became Paul. And yeah, the rest is sort of history. And pretty much he became a follower of Jesus Christ. So there's that story. I'm going to give you the other part of this with the oracle meaning. It says, and I'll hold this back up, emotionally, St. Paul represents the various aspects of ourselves within our psyche and emotional being, such as the spiritual seeker in search for answers to the unknown, and the wounded ego, unleashed when triggered by situations, circumstances, and people seemingly separate from us. Spiritually, St. Paul initiates spiritual awakenings and psychic experiences. He sends messages through vivid dreams, synchronistic conversations, psychic visions, and spontaneous spiritual claircognizance. Yeah, claircognizance. There we go. He urges the importance of incorporating the spiritual into daily life through meditations, shamanic healing, and prayer. Consciously, St. Paul reminds us that we are all mirrors to one another, and what disturbs us emotionally about another is a reflection of a part of ourselves in need of healing and release. So, no matter how surprising. All right. So with that, something to take away from this. First of all, people can change. Grace can be granted to pretty much anyone. With St. Paul did a lot of things when he was Saul, before he became Paul. And now he's a saint. There may be people in your orbit who have done some questionable things, but it doesn't hurt to forgive. You don't have to be fake. You don't have to be buddy-buddy or anything like that. But you can forgive and move on. You don't necessarily have to hold on to something. Just throwing that out there. Also, some of you may be very active with your dreams right now, where you're receiving downloads, information, intuition, visions. And you're wondering like, okay, what did that mean? And then maybe a week or so later, you're like, oh, I remember dreaming about this. That's what that meant. It could be some of those things. So one takeaway, or should I say another takeaway from this, is to pay attention to your dreams, especially during December. And probably during the full moon, because don't forget, the full moon is in Gemini. Gemini's planet is Mercury. Mercury deals with communication. So there may be something of significance around December the 8th. I'm pretty sure the full moon is on the 8th. So around December the 8th, there may be something of significance that you may receive in a dream. Just throwing that out there. All right, now the other one, Santa Muerte. That particular one. Let's talk about it. If I can pull up the page, I'm going to have to do it one by one. This says number 15. All right. And 15 might be of significance to you. So, let me read this while I hold this up. Nuestra Senora, or I guess you could say Senor, de la Santa Muerte, Our Lady of the Holy Death, as she is formerly known in her native Mexico, is a female folk saint venerated in Mexico and southwestern America. Santa Muerte's Spanish name translates as Sacred Death and is often incorrectly identified as the Grim Reaper because of her aggressive and startling appearance. Her absence of skin shows us that she is not bound nor distracted by fickle personas or human image. She is raw and has no need to hide. Santa Muerte is a powerful guide with the ability to navigate us through the depths of darkness. She represents the mystery of life through the essence of death, showing us that death itself is not the end. She holds multiple forms and guises, and even her various icons are worshipped with alternative colored robes, representing her multi-faced aspects. In love, Santa Muerte shows us to respect ourselves and others, as well as opening the heart to accept love when we resist in the most. Oracle meaning: emotionally, Santa Muerte has no time to waste on hesitancies or doubt. She comes forward and tells you to be bold and deliver, now or never. Now or never. That's what okay, this is stuff coming to me. Remember what I just said at the beginning of the reading, where I was telling you something that you do in December will more than likely affect something in June. Like whatever happens in June, it will be a result of something that you did in December. Whatever it is, there's something that you need to do. And this is saying it's now or never. What? Now I'm hearing something else. You need to pay attention to your visions and to your dreams, because your dreams are going to assist you, or will assist you, on whatever it is that you need to do. So be mindful, pay attention to your dreams. But now or never is the thing here. And also I'm going back to, you notice how he's praying right here? And how with St. Paul, it talked about meditation as well. You need to have faith. You see how the light shining in as he's praying? You need to have faith that whatever you do is going to work out. But this is saying it's now or never. It's time to let go of some things and not make excuses. All right, so back to this. Spiritually, Santa Muerte provides protection against battles and provides safe delivery into the afterlife. When working with Santa Muerte, you will begin to see owls and crows appear as her messengers from the spirit world. Consciously, she does not work a long time as we know it, but recognizes powerful moments in psychic energy when it arrives. If there is justice to be served, she will break everything down and set the waves in motion. Santa Muerte aids and assists her devotees across all walks of life, no matter skin color, income, or appearance, rich or poor, a good Samaritan or a thief. She sees all as equal beings. She is called upon for legal matters, love, prosperity, health, and healing, safe passage as well as protection against black magic, hatred, assault, and violence. That's a lot to take in. But now or never. I'm going to take 1 or 2 tarot cards because we're already at 12 minutes. This was a lot, is what this is. You have to have faith. And you have to believe. Also, you have to stop beating yourself up. For some of you, one thing that I'm picking up, going back to everyone deserves grace. Some of you may be ashamed of something or some things that you have done. But this card with St. Paul is saying that everyone deserves grace. It's talking about visions, but sacred visions. But also, it's about faith. It's about turning your life around. It's about having and I just heard Promise of a New Day, that Paula Abdul song. It's about having a promise of a new day. If you have a new day, you can start over again. And you have time to redeem yourself. Throwing that out there. Can we clarify the cards on the table for Cancer? Can we clarify the cards on the table for Cancer? Can we clarify the cards on the table for Cancer? What is it that Cancer needs to hear? Something told me to take this, set it to the side. What is it that Cancer needs to hear? What is it that Cancer needs to hear? May I have some cards, please? Thank you. Thank you. May I have another one, please? Thank you. Okay. Come through. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. All right. And then Page of Pentacles at the bottom, or Page of Coins in this deck. So something, this was in Gemini's reading. Pretty sure it was Gemini's reading. Where the Page of Coins showed up, and I'm going to tell you the same thing that I mentioned. There's something that you're starting. It has potential. And also, it will bring you happiness. It's going to start off small, but it has the potential to build. And it's something new. Pages are messengers. There can be a message being delivered or a message received or both. But this is something involving the 3D. That's what Pentacles deal with. Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus energy. They deal with the 3D. Now, under that is the 6 of Cups, under the Page of Pentacles. So this is something that maybe you've wanted to do since you were a child. For some of you, you may be reconnecting with someone that you knew when you were a child. Doesn't necessarily have to be, but it can be that too. Now, the first two cards to come out is the Ten of Wands and the King of Swords. King of Swords, which is Gemini energy. And mind you, Gemini season is June. Just saying. There's something that you may have to be very, what's the word? I don't want to say emotionless. Not pragmatic. There's another word I'm looking for. Very, oh goodness, I need the word. Okay, I'll go with that one. Very structured, thank you, in how you make your decisions. Structure will play a huge role because something about this, in having this King of Swords mindset, will play the role on you removing this burden and the cycle ending. You have the power to end the cycle. And once you do, with this particular card, remember, now or never. Once you take that chance and end that, the sun is here. And this is happiness. Also, it can be pregnancy too. And I'll throw pregnancy out because Page of Pentacles and then Six of Cups. So for some of you, there could be a pregnancy involved. Just throwing it out there. But for the most part, what this is about is now or never. You're going for it. And once you do, this is what you will see, is happiness and sunshine. Because you got the victory. Ace of Swords is a victory card. And there was something where you were able to cut through all the fear, cut through all the illusions, and get to the truth of something and get the victory. And take a chance. Also, Ace of Swords can deal with contracts as well. Some of you might be signing contracts. Some of you might be moving into a home too. I'm getting that as well. So, yeah. I feel you're going to, whatever you do, you'll keep it close to your chest because Four of Pentacles is here. And under that is the Ace of Wands, which is a new start. So this lets me know that definitely you're going to go for it. And you're going to go for it hard. But what this is saying right here is that it's now or never. That's the strongest energy and message I pick up from this card. Also, I heard gracefully letting certain relationships go. So, yeah. But that is the message. KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. Please feel free to listen to this podcast on whatever platform is most convenient for you. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. Till next time, be blessed.